Thank you for joining. I'm your host, ThisPhillipBrian, and I'm here to discuss Trek matters with you. Stick around after the review and I will answer a couple of the questions I've received in the past week. This week's Strange New World episode features Cadet Uhura quite a bit, and we get pieces of her backstory, which is quite welcome. The crew of the Enterprise works to save a planet that has a large comet bearing down on it. They must balance and manage this with the wishes of an advanced society that has a deeply religious connection to the comet. I will not go into spoilers, but there are elements of 1977's Close Encounters and 2016's Arrival, plus some visual and environmental feels that harken back to 1979's Alien. It was entertaining, and I look forward to learning more about Hemmer and Ortegas, La'an, and Sam Kirk, who has a scene that's very Operation Annihilate. I love Star Trek, but I can be very critical of it. Last week, I had people reach out to me who thought I was actually too easy on the first episode, and others thought that I was way too tough. So let me articulate the standard by which I will judge episodes. I will stack it against the best of Trek. That is their North Star to obtain. Reach it or pass it, and it's an A across the board. Here are some examples of Trek at its best, in my opinion. The Journey to Babel, The Best of Both Worlds, Carbon Creek, In the Pale Moonlight, and Timeless. Just to name a few. I liked this second episode. It was a standard Trek tale. I think it was slightly inferior to last week's episode, yet in my book it is still a solid B, and I look forward to next week. It's a fun show. Now to address questions I got through the week. One I got several times via social media DMs and even text messages from friends is about the opening speech. Some are under the impression that Captain Kirk was the first person to ever say the whole Strange New Worlds opening dialogue that is synonymous with Star Trek. Well, James Kirk is the first person we heard say it, but within the Star Trek timeline, it is Zefram Cochrane who says it long before Kirk was even born. So Kirk, Picard, Spock, and Pike are paraphrasing, or as I like to say, paraquoting, Cochrane when they say it during their respective tenures as Enterprise captains. The viewer Value of Nothing asked some really good questions in the comments last week. I'll highlight a few. In summary, he's asking why they would hang that predetermination of a horrible event over a character's head. I tend to think his knowing about his devastating injury could be an interesting and powerful character journey. In The City on the Edge of Forever, Captain Kirk knew that Edith Keeler was going to die and had to let it happen to ensure the continuity of the timeline. It is one of the most important moments in Star Trek. Also possibly the best episode of any Trek ever made. Certainly it is in my personal top 5 of any series. Pike believes his injury is a fixed point in time. That could be sci-fi gold if handled right. We shall see if it's handled right. The same viewer and others asked about Spock's behavior. Let's remember that this Spock exists within the universe, between the first and second pilot. This show should chronicle that evolution and contrast of displayed traits between those two depictions, which in Trek timeline are several years apart. Plus, during the original series, Spock was also a straight-up deadpan smartass who would then feign not to understand human humor. I'd like to see this Spock grow into that a little bit. Value of Nothing also pointed out that scene last week where Spock covered his ears and screamed in pain did not seem within the character. You're right. I agree 100%. That was a poorly planned and poorly executed scene, and we should expect better. Thank you for watching. What did you think of Strange New Worlds Episode 2? I liked it. I gave it a B. Let me know what grade you give it. Also, if you liked this video, please click like. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click subscribe. We'll talk soon.